See, whipping is a great exercise to teach you like some lessons about sending out your energy or your force, to a certain point. With the whip, since it's a long chain, huh? I didn't see her. I didn't see her. Uh, it's like basically it's 100% backwards and 100% forward tool. It's the same thing like with like a punch. This would be 100% backwards, 100% forward. You know what I mean? That's like a particular mode of of, of force transfer. Just like with this, with the whip, if you don't have it all the way back, it don't go all the way forward because the force doesn't it like gets in the way of itself. I mean, there's still ways you can use it that way. Like you can do that intentionally, so like a mid-range type of a maneuver. But it's a great tool, man, because see that my arm movement. Look, it was like that. This is an extension of my body and an extension of my mind, basically. And it's a tool you can use to gauge how well are you placing your energy out when you move forward. You know what I mean? Or even backwards, even. Because if you do a half, if you don't do the totally back action like I just did there, you don't get the 100% forward effect. So it actually kind of teaches you like these sweet spots in your body mechanics. See, I'm not just swinging wildly. Probably about 70% of my throws are exactly where I want them. You know what I mean? I'm not lying. I'm not making that up. Or it's close. It's in the area. Sometimes you don't need to be pinpoint. Other times you do. So as long as you're in the general area, you're still doing good. Just like throws. I'm at probably about 1,000,000 throws. But when it comes to knife throws, I'm only at about 500,000. With axes, I'm probably only at about 20,000. Maybe even 10. Tiny star throws, probably about 100. I mean, that's how I measure my skill. Like, how many kicks have I done? 50,000, 100,000. No, even every step is a kick. So I've done so many kicks in a way. Because now, I just kick when I walk anyway. But no, I'm probably at a couple 100,000. Million punches. So that's how I measure like my skill level on whatever I'm using. Like with this would be in the class of flexible weapon. You know what I mean? My flexible weapon skills, pretty decent. I mean, I'm not bragging or nothing. They're just decent. But then again, I practice a lot. I practice everything a lot. Got missed there. See, you got coming down, you got coming from under, you got coming from the side, then you got straight forward. Those, and then from side to side. That's about all you really got with the whip. Well, just like anything else, all 8 directions. You know. See, I put that little hip action into it that time. This is actually a perfect setup for this, what I'm doing right now. Because it's not easy, man. With the trees up here, it'll throw off the shot, just like anything else. Just like Chinese star throw. Things will tip it off. The littlest things sometimes. A bush will tip something off. Yeah, see, but look, when you're high level, what you do is you aim for one particular leaf and try to hit it, or one little tiny branch. You know. Yeah, got it. Let's see if I can rip it off. Got it again. Yeah, I made this whip myself. Works pretty good. I've learned to make a lot of my own stuff. Not bad for free. I mean, the time wasn't free. Hands hurt. Cutting all that leather. But I've got a lot of fun, enjoyment, usage. Got my Indiana Jones skills. They would come in handy, you know? Especially if there's a alien invasion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes you got to get out the way of your own whip. That's part of it. You got to learn how to have it go around you. See, I go left, hand right, inside, and outside grips. You know what I mean? Then you just go all directions and then reverse them. You come from reverse the grip each direction. You know what I mean? And then you start to learn how to hit stuff behind you on the way back too. You know? Or like I was saying, you aim at one particular leaf, or you try to hit one branch and then get it to be snug on there so you can rip it off. You can use just regular string and you can get the same effect as I'm getting with this right here. I mean, it's different, but it's the same skill, man. It's almost like cowboys with their lasso and their roping. That's or flexible weapons. It's all kind of like, the whip's not much different from a rope. You know what I mean? That's kind of how that breaks down. If you can learn how to, like, if you learn how to rope, similar movements that you would use in nunchucking. You know what I'm saying? For instance, they overlap. So sometimes when I'm doing this whip, you know what I'm saying? Every time I whip, it's also just like a strike. It's the same. It's punching. It's specialized punching, though. You know what I mean? Which that's why the stuff becomes so tedious, because there's all these different maneuvers. Once you learn how to do one motion, it's like you build up those muscles, and all of a sudden you get an inverse or a flip, a reverse movement that you didn't have before until you started working on the forward movement, for instance. It's weird how these things work. For everything, there's an opposite, when it comes to how you can move your body. Like, just because you can do it this way, that ain't the only way you can do it. There's a flip way to do it as well. And it's just as important as it is knowing the forward, you know what I mean, or the regular standard, whatever. And it's just like that. This is one of the ways through exploration, self-exploration of these things, you learn all this stuff. It just becomes before you know it, man, it's like you already know without even having to do it, because you've already built yourself up with these other things. It's like some things you can watch someone do it and you can just jack that skill from them just by them letting you see the skill. You know what I mean? This is the skill. That's the higher level of skill. And it's like you can copy anything you see. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying I'm all the way there, but I've always had that ability. Like I could just, like, I used to watch MMA when it first came out, and I watched this Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, and he did this maneuver where, like, he turned his back to the guy, and the guy went to tackle him, and the dude dropped down, and then he rolled in the back of his legs, catches the guy under the armpits, and then he goes flipping forward, and then you come out actually riding on top of him. And it's like, I actually did that maneuver to another guy after I seen it. Like, and this dude was raw. His name was Reggie Red Brum, a black dude. And we were doing it in a concrete floor in a basement, man. I mean, I am from Flint now. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, that's part of this ability, man, is like, you got to be able to glean information. You know what I mean? Like body language information type things.